Emily, it's been a long time since we've had this kind of weather this early in the fall.
Oh my goodness, Ken, and the extent of the ice that we've been experiencing, a widespread swath of 1/4 to 1/2 inch. And as you can see behind me, we're still tracking freezing rain. Let's take it out to Mike Bennett, who's been cruising around Enid. And Mike, I can see the trees really weighing down. What can you tell us?
Yeah, Emily, it's pretty typical just driving around. I've had to zigzag to keep from losing antennas through some of these neighborhoods in Enid. But, really, we've only had small limbs, a lot of small limbs down, nothing where we're losing any of the major limbs, bringing power lines down. I don't know of any power outages in the Enid area, but anyway, it's still coming down with light rain. Back to you.
Thanks for that. Excellent report. And yeah, the freezing line, it'll be getting closer later this afternoon. Let's jump now to Kevin Josephy, who's also been out since early this morning, and he's been tracking some really thick ice in the east side of the metro. What can you tell us, Josephy?
Well, I'm out here in Choctaw, and I did this measurement in Hera as well. And if I go on the back side of this branch here, start at 0, I come all the way across, it's measuring 1 inch. If you go to the top of it here, so you got about 1/2 inch to 1 inch of ice on these tree limbs out here. You can break that apart there. You can actually see how thick that is. And that is some hard ice, which is really weighing down all these trees out here in the Choctaw, Hera area. So people are going to have a lot of significant cleanup to do once this is all over. There is still a light mist that's coming down that's adding to the weight of these trees out here. So we'll keep an eye on it out here and monitor it that it hopefully just tapers off and goes away. Back to you, Emily.
Thanks for that, Kevin Josephy. Excellent demonstration of how to measure ice. All right, let's take a look at our current temperatures. We're right at the freezing mark. What we need to see is the freezing line completely moving through, so we climb to 33 degrees. We are at 30 still for OKC, though, 30 for Kingfisher, 30 for El Reno. So obviously, these are the spots that are going to take a while to see it transition from freezing rain to rain, or from freezing mist to just mist. So our storm scanner is showing a bunch of pink. You can see this freezing line, though, it is inching to the northwest, and that's going to be the trend this afternoon. It still may be another couple of hours, though, before we see it climb to that 33-degree mark for Oklahoma City. We're still tracking some freezing rain in southwestern Oklahoma up through Lawton and Apache, Chickasha as well. Chickasha reporting some down power lines and icing. Also some light ice over Purcell, Pauls Valley into Shawnee, and then Hera, that's where I saw reports of about 1/2 inch of ice. Kevin Josephy had that earlier. We have some heavier icing moving into Guthrie and Edmond. So this is our next batch for the North Metro. West Metro seeing some heavy icing. Off to the north, heavy icing continues for Ponca City, where we have reports the east side of town out of power now due to down tree limbs. So we're watching the temperatures closely. Still in the upper 20s to the northwest. The freezing line slowly inches to the west. Wind strong out of the north at 15 to 20 miles per hour. So wind chills will stay in the teens and 20s. Waiting for that 33-degree temperature we should hit by late afternoon at the latest. We'll have more on your forecast and when the storm system finally moves out coming up.
I've been in construction